This gorgeous bird is still one of the best jets that you can buy. Hey there, I'm John. This is Two Brothers RC, and this is the Freewing MiG-29 Fulcrum twin 80mm EDF jet, and how it stacks up a year later. In the first review video on this jet, I explored the basics of what this jet can do. This year, I pushed my limits. I'm running out of hangar space and stuff crashing doesn't really bother me, so I put this jet through hell, so you can get an idea of what's possible and what isn't. The most surprising thing about it to me, a year later, is that I can make it fly in a sustained high alpha pass with the gyro-stabilized thrust vectoring setup that I demoed last time. Now, some dudes will cry and complain about this and say it's cheating. I say it makes the jet flyable to begin with, since I pushed the center of gravity 40mm behind the marks to make it fly like a fighter jet. Other dudes just throw out bizarre complaints about it being a Russian jet. Remember kids, this is an airplane, not a political statement. You don't have to love Russia to enjoy flying a foam reproduction of a Russian jet that was made in China that you're flying in America. If you're attempting this high alpha pass because you think it looks cool, keep in mind that you need three things. A, you need thrust vectoring. B, you need the vectoring nozzles to be gyro-stabilized. Anything else and it will get into alpha lock and crash due to the thrust line pointing upward without vectoring, as my buddy Alejandro from the channel RC Forever / Air Guardian discovered a while ago. C, you need balls of steel.
I've got balls of steel.
Even with the gyro, the Fulcrum is constantly trying to kill itself by picking a random direction to crash in. Watch the elevators and rudders as it passes by here and you'll see just how much work I had to do to keep it in the air. Pushing the nose down constantly and keeping it straight with rudder input is like some messed up game of Dancing with the Stars, except you're on the hook for this $1,000 jet if it wrecks. Oh, and one other thing that I kinda should mention here. You should be running light batteries if you want to do this maneuver. It wants to kill itself even more with heavier packs. 4000 class packs are about as heavy as I can recommend going. SMC 4400 LiPos handled great. SMC 5900 and 6700 HV packs were too heavy, and it was always moments from disaster with the added wing load and instability the weight introduced. Let's say you've been watching this whole video so far and you're a little crazy and you don't care about high alpha. That's okay. The setup I demoed makes Cobra maneuvers super effortless. Just pull the stick and watch it snap back like a snake. Throw full rudder in with full throttle and it does augmented Cobra spins. Flat spins are an absolute joy. Add a little elevator, full rudder, and full throttle, and it'll spin like a top and come out completely clean. The gyro-stabilized thrust vectoring setup really just shines with the center of gravity balanced like a fighter instead of like a Cessna. The only thing you can't do with this jet is hover. Though, I do hear that you can maybe try it if you do some mods to get more air flowing to the motors. I wasn't interested in chopping up the jet to do that though. I'm pretty happy with how it handles overall, and I didn't feel like it needed more thrust than it already has. At least, not enough that I was willing to cut up the intakes like a Christmas goose to give the motors more airflow. Before we move on, scroll down just a little and hit that like button for me. If you're not already subscribed, get on it. And if you're not part of our Discord chat server yet, hop down to the description below to join up with 3,500 plus people and chat airplanes with us. Long-term ownership has been great. I can't find any real faults with this jet. The biggest problem this thing has is that it's not going to hold up to abuse. You can't Navy land this jet without damaging it. The gear are strong, but the foam supporting the gear isn't. Ask Alejandro from Air Guardian yourself on our Discord server and he'll tell you the same thing. The key to keeping this jet in good shape, long-term, is learning how to land it well. Fortunately, it's pretty easy to land if you're using my setup file on Discord and following the setup instructions in last year's review video.
Absolute butter!
Which is conveniently located in the card at the top right. Gyro stabilizing the thrust vectoring nozzles means that the jet is unstallable so long as there's thrust flowing through the nozzles. If it drops a wing, the nozzles will automatically correct it. Learn to land with some thrust and a stabilized approach by practicing touch and goes, and your jet will last as long as mine has. In fact, I love this jet so much that it's one of the few aircraft that I drove down to Florida with me to the Triple Creek RC Club.
Holy shit!
The MiG-29 has been a solid jet over the past year. I would highly recommend it to anyone who wants a thrust-vectored fighter that can perform insane maneuvers, yet can still land docile with the setup that I'm demonstrating here. You'll get the best of both worlds, an unrivaled aerobat in the EDF jet arena, and a jet that won't give you an anxiety attack while you try to bring it home safe. After all, the best aerobatics in the world don't mean anything if the aircraft itself can't come home safely. The downside to this jet, though, is that it's my most complex setup to date, with 2 BECs powering the gear and the servos separately, with nearly all 20 channels being used to control every servo, custom sequenced gear doors, 3-axis thrust vectoring on both nozzles, an RC Light Systems channel expander, and extensive gyro stabilization across the board to take full advantage of the aft center of gravity. It's not for the lighthearted, but last year's setup guide linked below should help, and if you need more help, hop on Discord via discord.gg/2brosrc to get assistance in real time from our welcoming and friendly community. I hope this video helped you figure out if the MiG-29 from Freewing is worth owning long term. It's got some snags here and there, but nothing else flies like it does, and it's totally worth owning if you want something that flies as great as our setup here can. All that being said, huge thanks goes out to our channel members on 2brosrc.com/supporters, and a very special thanks goes out to our mega fans, Sarasota RC Squadron, Michael Smith, JR Man, Todd, N411X, Jeff Baker, and High Alpha Guto, along with our Ultra fan, TBRC fan. You guys kick so much ass. Coming up soon will be a secret. Yeah, can't talk about it. Don't want to get sued. Sorry, you'll see soon though. See you guys next week.